All right, so this is one that I've been waiting to get in the club for literally years, and I have the red, and I was too slow and did not get the orange, and I'm so sad. I will get it eventually. The red is great too, though. So this is Tutto Anfora from La Ginestra, which is out of Tuscany, and this is all Sangiovese, but it is not your typical Sangiovese, and I have a personal history with them because they were one of the first natural winemakers that I ever met when I went to Von Italy, I don't know, 6 years ago, 5 years ago at this point. And I think that their orange was one of the first orange wines I'd ever had. It's the Tutto Anfora white. And like the way that their story is incredible. Like they do all kinds of like community-based stuff. Obviously they have like, biodynamic farming and animals everywhere, but they also have like programs for people that are rehabilitating or coming out of like prison or other programs to come and work on their farms. So just really cool group of, I met a woman there, but I'm pretty sure it's 3 guys that are like the leaders, and obviously there's just a lot of people involved. So we love them, and like the Tuttos are my favorite wines of theirs. They have some other great ones too that hopefully I'll get in. Easier to get those than these. But yeah, long backstory to talk about this wine. So Tutto Anfora, as you can probably guess, it was aged in amphora, I think for 9 months, but let me just double check. It's a 0-0 wine, so 3 months. So they don't add any SO2 to it, finding no filtering. So you'll see, like in mine, I can see some of like the sediment kind of staying up at the top. This is the real deal. It's also a little bit heavier. It's 14.5%. So just note that and think about it when you're gonna drink it. But yeah, so Sangiovese, not the way that you normally know Sangiovese. That's all I'll say to start. So the color is first slight difference, darker than I would normally expect from like a Chianti or a more traditional Sangiovese from Tuscany. But on the nose, actually, well, it has rim variation too because it is 5 years old at this point. So it's lighter on the outside, but that center is deep, dark, and fruity. All right, but on the nose, on the top, so it's got, the first thing is just like a pop of cherry. Honestly, it's like cherry cola, or like Coke, Coke cherry, whatever that thing's called. That is definitely what you get at the top. But then beyond that, it's kind of like mushroomy, earthy, like a little bit like forest floor, wet, like a little bit wet as well. Let's go to the bottom. It's definitely deep. It's funny because at the top, I'm thinking cherry cola, so I'm thinking like bright red cherries, but on the bottom, it's almost like dark cherries covered in dark chocolate. It's like deeper down there. It's also a bit, what's the word? Meaty. There's a lot there. You could dissect this wine forever, but I think that's a pretty good overview. You can go in all the directions. You got dark fruit, you got light fruit, you got cola, which is not one that I use very often, but a lot of other people have also said that about it. And I think it's getting more pronounced as it ages because I've had younger ones where it's like, oh, like, I guess I can see that. But on this one, I'm like, oh yeah, that's like number one, at least on the top. On the bottom, not so much. All right, so let's try it. Grippy. So our second departure from Sangiovese is really tannic, way more than I would normally expect. Well, can't expect anything. These guys are really doing whatever they think is best for the grapes, but not trying to be traditional at all. So strong tannin, that like foresty thing with like mushrooms, like those vibes are really, they're second. So it's like the cherries definitely come first, then the forest, and the cola is kind of like on the finish, I think. Let me try it again. Actually, like I don't say rhubarb that much either, and I wasn't getting that on the nose, but it kind of feels like the finish is a little bit rhubarby. That's a word as well. It's just like deep, dark, and broody, but it's like not. Well, it is actually high. Yeah, it's deep, dark, and broody in all the ways, except for instead of being, you know, like a heavy, I don't know, Syrah or something, like an aggressive, warm weathered Syrah, it's like Anfora Sangiovese, which takes it in a totally different direction. It like makes you want to have. Oh, actually, sorry. Let's revisit the structure of it, and then we'll talk about the pairs. I should also mention that it's the texture, the way that the tannins are, and I think because it's been in the amphora, it is super mouth coating, and it's like honestly a little bit like this is not the right word, but like dirty, not dirty, but like it feels like it doesn't feel like there's stuff in it. I don't know how to describe it, but you will understand what I'm saying when you're trying it. It's got this, I'll have to figure out exactly how to describe that. But yeah, so it's like super mouth coating. Like it's like the tannin just like overtakes your mouth completely. And the acids there, it's like lovely balanced. But I would definitely be excited to put this with some food. And you could go in a lot of interesting directions based on the way that it is. Like you could certainly put it with meats. I love the idea of it with stews. This is a great winter wine. Like I said in the card, like I'm trying to balance this month with like lighter ones, you know, as we head into spring, but like it's it's snowing right now. So where I am, like we can't pretend that it's not. So this is like, you know, sit in front of your fireplace and eat chocolate covered strawberries or cherries and have this. Yeah, sure. I mean, that's a pairing. It's probably a little bit weirder of a pairing, but it's in there. Those are flavors that are in it. So I think that works. But yeah, I think stews would be great. Stews and then some chocolate covered cherries. How about that? Beef stroganoff. Ironically, it doesn't make me think, give me Italian food. Probably because it's not a very traditional Chianti, or not Chianti, Sangiovese. I also think like ratatouille, just stewed stuff, whether it's vegetables or meats, I think are going to go really well with this. Yeah, I'm so excited for you guys to get to try this. Like I said, like literally years. I've been working on. I tried to actually import them, and then Zeb got them. There's no bad blood there. We don't even import anymore. But I just literally years. I'm so pleased that you guys can finally have it. So I hope you love it as much as I did. Enjoy.